I really do want to be like, this sounds crazy, but like a COO, CEO of like a children's hospital.
I could see it. Hey guys, welcome to Nurse Talk, the podcast where we talk all things nursing. I'm your host, Mia, and today we have Gwen.
Hi.
Thank you again for coming. I'm so excited that you're here.
Very excited to be here.
Yeah. So what led you to nursing?
So when I was in high school, I was actually a volunteer at a children's hospital in Orlando. And when you are under 18, you have to do it with an adult. So my mom did it with me. We were a little care pair.
Aww.
We were on a super specialized pediatric oncology unit that was right across from a NICU. And so that was like our thing. We did it together and I loved it. And I was like, I think I'm going to be a nurse. I remember we had a patient actually like pass away and they told me, not my mom, because she was like not there that day or something. And they were like, can you let your mom know?
Oh my God.
So like I went home and I was like, Mom, this happened. And my mom's like a mess. And I was like, this is like what we're doing. Like this is part of the gig. And she was like, that is so weird. At 16 years old, you're like, okay with this. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of when I felt like I love working with kids. I feel like I have a heart that can do this kind of nursing. So I went to nursing school. Dropped out 2 years in, happens. Graduated with a business degree, worked in like the retail management world for 7 years and COVID hit. So I got furloughed and I was like, I never want to feel like this again. So I needed to put my ego aside and I went back to nursing. Became a tech. Got really lucky that I got into my dream unit of the NICU and then kind of the rest is history there.
Yeah. What was it about the NICU?
Oh my gosh, I just love working with little tiny babies. I hate adults. I'm sorry.
Same, sorry.
Shout out to all you adult nurses, like God bless you. And I feel like I can say that because when I went back to nursing school, I went back for an associate's degree just so I could knock it out and get working. Mm-hmm. But I knew I wanted to be at teaching, and you can't get hired there like as a nurse without a BSN unless you are already a tech. So I took a float tech role in adults, floating wherever the biggest need was that day, which means it's usually horrible.
Absolutely.
Absolutely horrible. And I was like, if this is nursing, I can't do it. This isn't for me. So I knew I wanted to go peds. When I had done that volunteer work in high school, we went into the NICU just a few times. And I remember meeting a baby that was like a BUFA, so up for adoption. And she had like severe hydrocephaly and it was like the saddest thing ever. But seeing the nurses be such a big part of her care when there was no family there for her and like taking care of her and everything, it just like really resonated with me. Like I will never forget that. And I thought NICU is where I wanted to be. When I was looking for a job, everyone tells you can't go to NICU first. Like you can't. So I thought just peds, mom, baby, something in that world. I ended up emailing the CEO at our job.
You did?
To try to get an interview in the NICU because the recruiter,
amazing.
It was ballsy. I don't know. He sent like a mass email out like, we're hiring this many thousand positions. And I was like, then why can't I get a response from this recruiter? So I responded to it and I was like, hello. I really want to stay with you. Like I just graduated. He got me in touch with the recruiter. She definitely took me more seriously then. And I got an interview with NICU. Didn't hear anything. Was supposed to interview with L&D like the next week. And then I got the call for NICU. So grateful that I got a NICU. And like I said, I did my time with adults, I promise, because of tech. But NICU is just like where my heart is 100%.
Absolutely. I remember getting the call and it was even on my vision board and everything.
Yes.
And it's just like, oh my God. Like,
yes,
it's the best feeling.
No, I love that. And I love that you said vision board because when I went back to nursing school, COVID is such a weird time. Like
it was horrible.
It was so weird. And I'm like, writing down goals and all this stuff. And I had wrote down like, go back to nursing school, become a NICU nurse and I found that like 2 years after I started it. And I was like, oh my gosh, manifested this, I think.
The power of manifestation.
100%.
It's real.
It really is.
I think it is.
I do too. And it's stuff like that where I'm like, I didn't write it down to come back and look at it. But like, you know, people talk about the power of like writing things down and how it does something for your brain. I'm like, I totally believe that now.
And sometimes it feels like it happened just because you wrote it down. Like literally, maybe not, but like it just feels like
yes, 100%.
you called it into existence.
Yes,
Yeah.
try to. I should write down like become a millionaire.
Exactly. Yeah, we should. Who was it? I don't know who it was, but a very famous actor said that when he was super poor, what he did is he wrote himself a check, like a $10 million check. I think it was Jim Carrey. I could totally be wrong. But he wrote himself a $10 million check and was like, I'm going to be a millionaire one day.
I should do that.
Like, yeah, I need to do that.
But if someone finds that check, like it's gonna bounce.
So when you first got to NICU, what was the most surprising thing?
Coming from adults, you're like in a war zone, I think. Like,
It's crazy that you said that because, not to interrupt you, but when I was in the thick of adult, like the horror, that seems dramatic, but I would tell people when I get on the elevator, I would visualize putting like armor on.
yeah.
Like I'd be like I can do anything for 12 hours. Like I can
Yeah.
do it. Like I know that I'm probably not going to eat or pee or anything this shift, but I can do it. And I would like walk off and be like so sorry, but
Literally.
like, you saying that it was like a war zone, like I felt that.
It is like a war zone, especially like, and I was afloat, so obviously it was wherever the most need was, which was going to be a like,
Train wreck.
yes, that's a nice word for it. It was such a train wreck, and you have like 20 patients, and then like as a tech, you know, you're getting vitals, you're changing them, you're doing all these like little things. Like I can't even imagine how much worse it was for the nurses. Like I don't know, but it just felt like a war zone every day, and I felt disgusting every day that I came home. I'm like taking off people's socks, and their skin flakes are going everywhere, and I'm like, I can't. Like I would be like, they're the horrors. Like so, like, I can't.
It really is.
Like the horrors
No.
persist in adults.
It's like the skin from the socks is like just one little thing.
No,
That's one little thing and it's horrible.
and then it makes me so sad too.
It is,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, like this poor
People
person.
neglect themselves.
Yes.
Or they neglect, the patient, because
Yes.
that patient can't take care of themselves. But
It's so sad. So I was like sad and felt like I was going to war. And also at the time I was working like 40 plus hours a week at my regular job, clinicals for nursing school, and then overnight 1 to 2 nights a week.
wait, you were a tech at the same time you kept your.
Yep. I was managing the Soul Cycle in Hyde Park because I was like, this is the only way I'm going to get into and doing all these clinicals at different places. And I'm like, I hate it here. Like, it's disgusting. Like, I hate it here. And felt like just a step above these other places. So I was like, whatever I have to do to get in there. Like, it was close to my house, whatever I have to do to work it. So going through, just like I said, the horrors of working with adults, when you go to NICU, it's so clean.
Oh, yeah.
It's so clean. It's so much more quiet. Like, I always say, like, the NICU felt like it wasn't in the same hospital as all the other units that I know. I'm like, and your patient ratio, I'm going from like 20 plus patients on a floor that's just on fire to like 2 to 3 to focus on. So I knew it was going to be different, and I knew it would be like smaller patients, but I think that you go in so like, from the experience in adults, like thinking the worst, I don't know. And NICU felt so chill compared to that. Yeah. It's not chill in a lot of other ways, but compared to being on a med surg adult floor, like I was like, this is just such a unique environment, which I loved. Like, I felt like I could use my brain and have time to think. And like, not every shift is like that, but it didn't feel like the war zone that I was always going into with adults.
It feels the quite opposite of a war zone.
Yeah.
Some days might feel like that, but like most days feel the opposite.
Yeah. It's like, it's so nice and lovely. It's just the patients are so much more fragile. Like the first 3 months, I thought I was going to like kill a baby trying to change his diaper all the time.
Oh, I know.
I would be like doing this, now I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Down. But I remember being like so scared of everything because they're so fragile.
I had a student like 2-3 days ago, and she said she was a mom, but her child was like 10 years old. So she's like, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So I did the whole thing. I did the whole, first 2 rounds. And on the third round, I was like, you're going to do it. She's like, huh? And I'm like, just do it. Just change the diaper, take the
Yeah.
temperature. You got this. And the whole time she was like, like,
Yeah.
you know, pee and poop was everywhere and all the things. And it was like, oh, wait, I was there once. Like, you
Yeah.
forget where you started. And I was like, it's okay. Like,
No, literally from like not being able to change a diaper without like shaking to like giving compressions with my thumbs. Like,
yeah.
it's like one extreme to another. But in the beginning, you're so like, and then coming from adults, like obviously you're changing adult diapers, you're changing their beds, like,
yeah.
and you go to NICU and it's like everything's so much smaller, and fragile is really the word that like covers it. Like I never felt like I was going to hurt an adult with the babies. I'm like, I feel like if I hold them the wrong way, something's going to happen.
100%. Yeah. Especially when you get those like 700, 800 grammars and below, you're like,
Oh, that used to freak me out. By the end, that was like where I thrived. Like I only wanted to take those kind of assignments and be involved in all that stuff. But in the beginning, I was like, no way. Not for me.
yeah.
Like eyes still fused. No.
I know it is weird when you get to like that deep into it. It's like left eye fused, right
Yeah.
eye opens, you know, spontaneously. And
Yeah.
you're like, what are we're getting really down to
Yeah.
like
No,
the
my
specifics
parents would be
here.
like, how small are they? I'm like, no, they're like literally my hand. Like their eyes are still fused. Like, and they're like, they're what? Like, how do you do that? You have to cut them? I'm like, no.
Oh my God. That's such a
They're
scary
like, how
thought.
do they come undone? I'm like, you know what? No.
Just naturally like in the womb. Yeah.
We're not cutting them open.
No, oh my God. What's something only a NICU nurse would understand?
I definitely would go like this, like compressions with the thumbs. Like that is something people don't realize, that we literally give compressions with our thumbs. Like, or just like hold up any supplies, like the size of things. I think that they think our stuff is for dolls, like a little diaper.
Oh my God. Sometimes I want to like show people like, here's a newborn diaper and here's like
Yeah.
a nano and a
They're-
micro. Like,
They're so small. We've had a lot of people do like the Great American Teach thing and like take the diapers into school, and the kids are like so baffled. They're like, that won't even fit on my like teddy bear kind of thing.
or the blood pressure cuff that like literally you can put around your pinky.
It's so tiny.
know.
Everything's so small. Only NICU nurses would understand grams. Like, I don't talk to me in like pounds, because I can only understand kilos. MLs. Let's not talk about ounces. When a parent's like, so many ounces is that? I'm like, 60 mLs. What do you mean? Yes, that's 2 ounces, but it's mLs.
I know. Especially because most of them are like, especially like if they're super small and they're just now eating, it's like 2 mLs.
Yeah. Like that's the feed.
Like,
We're not in
it's like
ounces here.
0.00 something ounces.
Yeah. Measuring in centimeters, grams, mLs, like that's all just NICU nurse language, I feel.
Absolutely, because they don't do any of that in adults. No.
Nowhere else. Nowhere else.
So you've probably experienced some really memorable stories in the NICU. Would you like to share a few?
I will say I worked as a charge nurse on night shift during the hurricanes. And that was some of the craziest times I've experienced, because like you go into a hurricane knowing I'm going to be locked in here for I don't even know how long. Like you pack.
That's so scary.
No, it's really crazy. You pack for X amount of days and you're sleeping like on an air mattress on the floor. You're going to war. Literally, nurses go to war a lot. But I was a charge nurse, and the hurricane was like, it was night one, so it was pretty bad. And I remember getting a call that there was like a leak in the ceiling somewhere. So I'm going to handle that. Then I get a call that there's another leak in the ceiling, like another patient room. Then I'm walking down the hallway and I see that there's ceiling tiles falling through on the floor. And I'm like, what is happening here? The NICU where I'm at is half of it's new, half of it's old. So there's like a seam of where they did the renovation or whatever. That whole seam was leaking into patient rooms. So we had to like move all these patients. Like I'm talking vented kids, like all this stuff, like, cause their room's about to like, I don't know if the ceiling's going to fall in. Like, and I'm like, who am I?
Yeah.
Figuring this out. My favorite thing was that they had been like, we have this central energy plant as backup. So like, we're good. In the midst of like the ceilings falling, moving all these patients, I hear them call a code red central energy plant. And I'm like, And earlier in the night, I had said to everyone, I was like, where do we keep the headlights just in case? And someone told me where they were. They weren't there. And they were like, don't worry about it. We're not going to need them. They call the code red Central Energy Plant. Management is all of a sudden up, handing out the headlights. We're all putting them on. Thank God everything was okay. But I was like, ooh. It was just so wild. The hurricanes are like such a unique experience. And like, shout out to all the nurses working those because, again, complete war zone. But the ceilings falling in was definitely wild. I'm telling you, nurses go to war all the time. And the hurricanes are definitely one of them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And this past year, we didn't really get any.
No.
So I'm like, where is the wood? Just like,
No, I know.
like literally.
No, it's
Because how do you get that lucky twice?
I don't know. I'll take it though, because I've always said, like, now that I'm not at bedside, like maybe I would go back and work a hurricane team, but I don't know.
Nah, keep your peace.
Yeah. I've had a parent come into the NICU with a pizza and Four Locos on top of the pizza thing, just like walking through trying to find their baby's room. And I'm like, before you go room, can we talk about what you're holding? Like, why are we bringing a Four Loko into the neonatal ICU? Like, what? And he's just like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's trying to hide it. And I'm like, no, this has got to go. Who let this man in?
Security didn't see a Four Loko?
No, literally. I'm like, I can't. So a lot of like stories where you just don't know where these people's heads are at. You know, you're like, you have a child in the NICU right now. Like,
it's one thing to be like in the NICU, which is like a sacred place.
Yeah.
For like, in my opinion.
Yes.
But to like, even if you walked in and like, you know, his dad or grandpa was on the med surg floor, like you can't just like bring a Four Loko into the hospital.
No, we're in a hospital. The only time I think it's okay is if your grandfather's dying wish is to have a Four Loko.
But even then, I think that it would maybe be illegal to be like, hey.
100% illegal. I would be like, can we get a doctor, like a nursing order so this man can have a Four Loko?
100%, yeah.
But like, other than that, like, I don't know why you're bringing that in the hospital. How about take a break from the hospital, go have like a margarita around the corner or something? Like anything other than bringing a Four Loko to the hospital.
Or like chug it before you walk in. Like,
yeah.
No one wants to deal with you after you chug a Four Loko, but like, don't drink it, and that's crazy.
No, it's really crazy. Another story that I think is like really memorable from the NICU was these twins that we had. They were born at 25 weeks. And I primaried them with one of my good friends, and like we just loved these babies. And one of them got like super, super sick, like probably a month old, so sick. I picked up an extra shift and I was like, I only want to come in if I have my primary. It was one of those nights. I try not to be that person, but that night I was like, I don't want to work. So if I come in, give me him. And they were like, oh, he had surgery today and he's actually in the procedure room. And like, basically, we don't know if he's going to make it through the night. Like he was a 1-to-1. He was so sick. And I remember being in the room. They were letting more visitors in to be with him. Like I remember standing in a circle with the family, like praying, like thinking like, we're not going to make it through the night. We had the easiest night ever. Okay. That baby was like golden.
Oh, yeah.
I was like all night, I was like ready for him to take a turn. Like he was good. And he had like a really long stay and like it didn't get easier for him, but he ended up, you know, being okay, going home, like PO feeding, like really crazy. We just never saw that outcome for him. And they have come back to visit us in the NICU like twice. And it's just like so cool to see them like big and like walking. And it's just so crazy. And when I said hi to him and he was still in the stroller, he like smiled and lit up. I was like, oh, he remembers me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was really cool. Being able to see them after what you go through with them in the NICU, I think is so rare, you know, because people, I mean, we can't stay in touch with them while they're there.
Yeah.
But then like, you know, maybe you stay in touch with the parent for a year or whatever. So to like have a parent like follow up and want to come see us and then see a kid that you thought was like going to see Jesus, like actually living life, like walking all these things is like so rewarding. And that's also why I love the role I'm in now, because I get to see so much more of those outcomes.
That is so true. Yeah.
It's
how
really
long
cool.
how long do you follow them?
Right now we will see them until they're 18.
Wow. So depending on how long you're in the role, you could see literally people that
Yeah.
you, oh my gosh, how
I
cool is
know.
that?
Like there were patients who had left the NICU that I didn't even primary. Like I just knew from the NICU, and then I'm seeing them at their clinic visit and they're all like running around the room. I'm like, what is this? Like, it's so cool. I can't wait to see, like, depending on how long I am in the role, et cetera, like all these little nuggets get older and start talking. The talking is crazy. Like
Yeah, it's like, wait, you're a whole human now. That's
no,
crazy.
you used to be the size of my hand.
Yeah.
And, like, to hear them talk is wild. So that is super rewarding.
I think it's so rewarding because you get to see the power of the NICU and what the NICU can do.
Yes.
And it's just like, okay, like we're doing this for a reason. Like it's so powerful. And it's such a blessing to even have NICUs.
Oh, 100%. It is. It's so, so cool. I think that's also why I love NICU. Like, it's just such a unique type of medicine. You know, one of the nurse practitioners we work with would always say, like, it's like the newest medicine. Like, we're still learning. It's only X amount of years old. Like, it's so cool to be a part of that and watch it evolve and see how these outcomes and like life expectancies for these kids goes up as it evolves in the NICU. So
Yeah, and viability keeps going down. You know, it's like, oh,
crazy.
it is kind of crazy, right?
is.
I'm like, I don't think I want to be around for like the 20 weeker, like all the
That's
things.
scary.
Yeah. I know that, like, I feel like maybe in like 20 years, there's going to be like artificial wombs and you know, the whole
I've
thing.
seen some articles and stuff on that where that's wild.
They make it sound like it's going to happen like next year, but like
No, I think we're far off.
very far off.
Very far off. Because one thing goes wrong, you've got a problem. So
Yeah, you're like, you don't know anything
I
about how
don't
to
think
fix
we're
it.
in
Yeah,
a place
yeah.
to test it right now.
I wouldn't be my kid that you tested on. Yeah,
No.
No. What advice would you give newer nurses who are considering NICU as a specialty?
I would highly recommend shadowing in like a level 3 or 4 NICU first and asking to see, like, you know, a patient with a trach and all of those kind of things. Because I think sometimes people go in thinking like, oh, it's little babies. Like, it's so cute and it's so chill and all you do is feed babies. You do a lot more than feeding babies. So I think genuinely shadowing, and then also to never try to be the most confident person in the room. Like, I truly believe there's nothing scarier in healthcare than an overly confident nurse.
Yeah.
Like, ask your friends, like ask someone for help. Like, I would rather someone think that they sound stupid asking a question multiple times than just confidently do something incorrect or unsafe. Like, I've probably asked like stupid, annoying questions a million times, like out of anxiety of not harming my patient. But I know that I'm not harming my patient.
Which is the most important thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. You know, we're all going to make mistakes and it's okay. Like, things are going to happen, emergencies are going to happen, but how you handle it and like how you ask for help and how you recover from it is like really what matters. Like, I've seen some crazy, crazy stuff, but to be able to come out of it with like integrity and like almost making your team understand that they can like trust you to do the right thing, like, I think is super, super important. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
What was your first thought when they came to you and they asked you to be charge?
So crazy, but my situation was really interesting when it came to being charged.
Okay.
So because I came from a background of management, when I first came into NICU, I was like, I want to be a charge nurse. Like, I just
okay.
knew that from the jump. As I got into it, I was like, I don't care about being a charge nurse. I don't care.
Never mind.
Yeah, just kidding. So after like 2 years, I was like kind of missing that like business management piece. So I knew they needed charge nurses, and I also knew in their eyes I was not like ready because all their charge nurses had been there forever. So I just was like, hey, I'm interested. I know you need people. Because of my background, like, I think I'd be really good at it. But, you know, I understand that I haven't hit like my 3 or 5 year mark, whatever it needed to be. And they like did not take me seriously. Like, they like were kind of supportive, like as if in the long term they were going to be supportive, but there was not a lot of follow up. I felt like it became me being like, hey, you need charge nurses. I want to be charge. I got so irritated. It got to a point where I was like, I know I will be a great charge nurse for this unit. You let me know when like you think I'm ready. You know, they had me be a resource nurse first, which I think was phenomenal experience. Like, I don't think I actually needed that prior to being charged to be charged, but like when they finally let me do it, I was like, okay, about time.
Yeah.
Thanks. Like I just genuinely like love like weird administrative stuff and like managing people. So I wasn't like too nervous about being charged until I got into it, and you realize like you're in charge of like making sure you know what deliveries are coming and having a room ready for them on top of, oh, this 27 weeker is actually coming, surprise. Get a room and assignment ready for them, like that stuff. You just like learn it on the job. But I was definitely a little pushy about being charged for a while. So
Well, I remember being like so surprised. I mean, you were a phenomenal nurse, and I just remember being like, I feel like she's only been a nurse for like a year. Like it
Yeah.
was quick.
it was
And
quick.
you did great.
Thank you. I remember someone like higher up was walking through during one of the hurricanes, and another charge nurse introduced me and was like, she just started with us as charge. And she's like, oh, how long have you been here? And I was like, oh, I'm hitting 2 years like right now. And she's like, huh, that's really fast for charge. Like, okay. I was like, yeah, just trying to grow, whatever, like talking to someone who gives me so much anxiety.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I'll keep my eye on you. I don't think she would ever remember that conversation. But even then she was like, that is really fast. Like, but I just knew that like that people management piece was something like I weirdly like enjoyed. So even though it was fast, I knew I had that. I knew the emergency and clinical skills were like growing, but I had that other piece.
And we're obviously going to get into what you do now, but do you feel like having charge nurse on your resume really helped you?
100%. I really do. I think that you learn how to communicate with providers and nurses and other people, like especially on night shift, like you don't have your direct management there all the time. So you have to escalate things to like the AOD or like call other people in or know when to call management when they're not there. So getting in that practice of being able to communicate with those kind of people, especially providers. Like I do a ton of provider communication now, and to know how to build a relationship with them and know that their personalities are all very different.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And you have to like approach them differently. Like I think I got so much of that from my time as charge. Yeah.
That's amazing. As a night shift charge nurse, how do you keep your energy and your sanity in check during like a crazy shift?
Okay, Celsius. No, it is, you kind of have to go into it like knowing if it's going to be a train wreck of a night, like we're just going to get through it, like find a way to laugh about it at the end. But having a good team, knowing who you're working with and leaning into it, I think with your team, I think being like, if it's a train wreck kind of night, it's a train wreck for everybody. So I never wanted to be the charge nurse that was like, it's a train wreck, so like you need to pick it up, I'd be like, it's a train wreck. We're all experiencing this. Like, how can we help each other? Do I need to go to McDonald's and buy some cookies? Hand them out on the unit. Like just being in it with your nurses as opposed to getting in your own head about all these like other things you have to do. Because at the end of the day, when you're charged, you're not leaving at the same time everyone else is. So on a chaotic night, just knowing like all of this other stuff, this administrative whatever can happen later, and I don't care. Like I'll stay later. Like let's just figure out how to be in this train wreck together, and then like maybe laugh about it and get a mimosa in the morning.
I love that because not all charge nurses are like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even see them on your admission ever, and you're like,
no, that's awful. And I mean, there are nights where I'm like, I want to hide.
oh, absolutely, yeah.
But like, if you like aren't present for your team, then just feel like the flow of your own work isn't going to go well. Like I can't sit at my desk and be like, sorry, I'm doing assignments while I have a nurse that's like drowning and crying about something. Like that's just not going to work. So I think that like being in it with your team is like a huge piece of it. And you're so right. Like they're definitely.
And it makes such a big difference. Yeah. Like when you're in huddle and they say, so-and-so is charged today, sometimes you're like, oh, thank God. Like no matter what happens today, that like if I have a horrible day, they'll hold my hand.
Yes.
Not literally, but figuratively.
Yes.
And then there's some days where they're like, so-and-so is charged, and you're like, I'm on my own. I better figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also like you want to set a precedent of like, if I am sitting for a second, I don't want it to be like, oh, she's always sitting and this and that. I'd be like, no, she was probably doing stuff. Like, let her chill.
It's 5:00 or 4:00. She has to do.
Yeah. Where they like respect it as opposed to like, well, she wasn't there for my admission or whatever. Like, I'd rather offer to feed your baby or do your care time, like whatever you need, than have a stigma against myself that I like don't do anything, you know?
Yeah. Did you catch yourself almost going overboard so that you didn't get that feeling that you may have had for other people who didn't show up as a charge?
Probably in the beginning. Yeah, definitely in the beginning. I think as I got more confident with like all of the tasks and stuff, I kind of stopped overcompensating. But there was definitely a time in the beginning where I was like, especially being resource before being charge, like you are quite literally everyone's resource.
Yeah.
So I had to remind myself, like, I'm not resource, I'm charge. And I can call resource to help them, but I have other things I need to do. So yeah, in the beginning, there was definitely some overcompensating.
Yeah, like some balancing of like, I want to be there for everyone and I want people to like me as a charge.
Yes.
But I also have to do the charge thing.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I also felt like I wanted to operate in a way where I was like, if someone doesn't like me, that's not my problem. And not like I don't care because like I want everyone to have like a good shift and be in a good mood, whatever. But like if someone has a problem with me, it's not because of how I acted. You know what I mean? Like, and feel free to come talk to me about it.
Yeah.
I think I'm approachable. Like, I would rather have like I like don't shy away from hard conversations. Like they just like are what they are. So I'd rather you come up and be like, I don't think you're helping me and you're spending all the time in this person's room than like being angry behind my back, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, and just being in a bad vibe. I've literally said to people like, hey, seems like something's going on here. Let's talk about it. Like,
I can't imagine how awkward that is.
I think it's usually, I don't know, maybe I black out like when it's anxiety, but I'm just like, once you get through it, it's better than where you were before. So I feel like I try to laugh about a lot of things. Maybe that's an anxiety thing. I like try to be like, okay, so where are we miscommunicating? Like something's wrong. But yeah, not everyone's going to like you. As long as you're operating in a way that you know that they can't be like, well, she sits on her butt all day and does nothing, then like, who cares?
Exactly.
Like, who cares?
So what would you say is like one of the funniest or most awkward situations you had to manage as charge?
You know, we're in our 30s. Like we work with a big age range of people. And when I would do assignments, I'm always trying to I'm looking at who's a primary, who maybe had this patient the day before. You know, there's so many things that you have to look at and it's never going to be perfect and you're never going to make everyone happy. When they come in and they're looking at the assignment sheet and I'm behind the desk, sometimes I'm getting a stank eye. Sometimes I'm getting a direct comment where I have to be like, well, this person's here. They were here yesterday. They're primary, whatever. Like, I don't care. I have had a woman who like, I mean, I still think I'm like a 23-year-old in my head. So I'm like an actual adult. Like come up about their assignment and like start crying at 7 a.m. And where I want to be like empathetic and be like, I don't know what's going on in their life. That's not where my head's at the end of the 12
Oh yeah, you're like, I'm going cross-eyed and I want to go home.
Yeah,
like, what do you need?
Like where I just had to turn around, look at the ground because I was like, I can't process this right now, and say to the day shift charge nurse, like, I'm not in the headspace to address this. You can do whatever you want with assignments. I don't care. Like, I don't care, but I can't deal with that right now.
What were they upset about?
Just that it was like a quote unquote overwhelming assignment. And it was at a time where like we were trying to not give them, you know, in NICU, they want you to have like 3 babies max is like pretty safe. 4 is tough. Like I don't want to give anyone 4 babies, but there are shifts where you're making assignments and you're like, in an ideal world, I would put this kid in a 2 baby assignment, but I have to put them in a 3 and I know it's going to suck, but like everyone else's shift is also sucking that day. Yeah. Like it's not just them. So like, it was just that it was like too much. But coming off the night we had of like a bajillion deliveries and all this stuff, I'm like, I'll show you too much. Like,
you don't know too much.
I'm like, this is not too much. Like I can't. So just, I don't even remember beyond that, but it was too much. And I remember they like put their hand over their mouth and like started crying. And I was like, I can't do this right now. Like my empathy's
Maybe they
out.
were like just really going through something. But like,
Yes.
someone complained the other day and said it was too much when they had a grower feeder and a CPAPper that didn't ding. And I was like, it doesn't get any better than that.
No, that sounds like you can like read your Kindle at your desk.
I know. I was like, and they weren't even L&D.
No, that's a dream. That is a dream. I got to a point where like if you had that kind of assignment, even if I didn't have a room on the row, I'm putting you down as L&D. So there's no questions asked.
100%.
Like because people will be like, oh, I'm L&D too. And I'm like, yeah, and look how many there are.
There's 8 people.
There's a bajillion.
It's okay.
We'll assess as the day goes on. I can't. I think especially when you're dealing with nurses who have been there like so much longer than I had been there, then they're way more experienced. They have done a bunch of stuff, but that's why I'm like, I think you should know you can handle it. Like as opposed to thinking that like I'm messing up and doing something inappropriate. But like if I did, like if I came in the next day and the charge nurse was like, hey, we had to change XYZ because it was like too much. Like, okay, good to know. Then I'll make that change for the next one. Like I'm not offended by it, but I'm doing my best.
I know. I try to be like so, like just so easy with the charge nurses because I'm like, God, they have so many things to think about. I'm like, do whatever you want. I don't care. Give me a student. I'll never be like, oh, you gave me, I'll never.
I have had a nurse, a younger nurse, in front of a student be like, well, I had one last week. So like, can she go with someone else? And I'm like,
it's so mean.
You're like, it's so mean. I kind of don't expect it out of the younger nurses because I feel like we've all been through a version of that.
Didn't you just go through that like yesterday?
Yeah. Also, I said we, and I'm like, I'm not one of the younger nurses. I'm not. No, I'm like born in the 1900s. A lot of these nurses are not. Like
me too.
But like, I feel like we've been there, you know? And I remember being a nursing student with a nurse who clearly did not want me with them. And it's like, a horrible feeling. Yeah. Like, so I don't know, to make a student feel like that is so like mean to, like, it's so mean in my opinion. Even if she came to me after and was like, hey, I had a really like long night. I had a student the other day. Is there any way she can go with someone else? Like, what? Not in front of the student, not in front of a whole group of people. Like, that's like mean girling to me.
That's kind of bullying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
It's like, how dare you be here and annoy me with your presence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, they're just trying to learn.
I feel like that should be like, if you do that in front of a student, I know they're just a student, but I feel like something like that should be escalated to management.
Oh, I 100% told management.
Oh, yeah. I would be like, you need to address that. That's not appropriate.
Correct.
We are literally a teaching hospital.
And if they're saying that in front of a student, like I promise you, and I can guarantee you with this other person, like there are other things that are being said or happening that are problems, like attitude-wise toward their peers, toward whatever it is. And so I was able to mention it to management because there was like a culmination of other things.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
you're like, not the right day and not the right person.
No.
So let's do some rapid fire charge nurse questions. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hardest part of charge: conflict, staffing, or paperwork?
Conflict.
Best shift: calm or chaotic?
Ooh, depends on the day. We have to say calm because those don't come along.
Go to coping strategy on bad shifts.
Mimosas. After the shift, not on the shift. But yes, get your little nurse group together, whoever was in the trenches with you, and get some mimosas.
Absolutely. You know, I've never done that.
Really?
I've never done like a post shift, like.
Oh, I have done it with the most random of people. Like, like if we were in it together and like we're not working the next night, like let's go. Like it's honestly the best.
Okay, so what is one word to describe being charged?
Chaos.
And then lastly, finish the sentence. Being charged taught me
patience. Patience.
For everyone.
For everyone. Patience in all the different ways, for sure.
One last charge question, and it's, what advice would you give a nurse who feels like they're being asked to be charged too early?
Then don't do it if you don't want to. If you feel like you're being asked too early, if you know what I mean, like I don't think that there's like any sort of loyalty to your unit, etc., that should push you into doing something you're uncomfortable with, because it goes back to that whole like there's nothing scarier than an overconfident nurse thing and safety. If you don't feel comfortable with it, don't do it. Like you are going to have to make some decisions that are pretty high level and like you're operating in organized chaos all the time. So it doesn't mean you can never do it, but don't ever feel pressured to do it. That's my biggest thing. I've seen where there's been lack of charge nurses and people getting asked who like really don't want to do it. And I think if you just do it for the sake of like helping the unit, et cetera, like your experience is going to be that much worse. Like you should truly only do it if you're not 100% confident because you're a little scared, like you'll learn, like that's fine. But if you don't want to do it, like don't ever feel like you have to, or that I stand by like you owe people nothing.
Literally.
My like line. And you don't owe anyone doing it. So if you don't want to do it and you're feeling pushed, don't. If you're a little like not confident, but you do want to do it, go for it. You will learn on the job, ask all the questions, just like operate out of safety.
What made you decide to leave bedside in the NICU and become a patient service navigator?
I really, really did love being bedside in the NICU. I think it's an amazing, amazing job. I became charged because I was missing that like more management piece. And I realized that long term, I really did want to go the more administrative route. I'm really passionate about like making change from like higher levels and like systems changes and different like process improvement and quality improvement. I think that it's so interesting and cool. When this job came up, I had a friend who was working in the same office as the person who was leaving. So I had told her like, if you ever hear of anything, like let me know. So she let me know about the job. I reached out to the girl who was doing it and just to hear like kind of what it was, because I had no idea. And there's only one person who does it. So I had no idea. It sounded amazing. It just sounded like I got to work with the patient population that I loved, but also be a part of like a bigger piece of their care and like transitioning them to outpatient, being there for families when they're readmitted, like all these things. It seemed like a culmination of everything I wanted. And it also seemed like a first step into that more administrative direction that I knew I wanted to go like long term.
So for someone who hasn't or isn't familiar with a patient service navigator, can you kind of explain, you went into it a little bit, but can you kind of explain the role?
Yeah. So it's such a mouthful of a title. I'm the patient service line navigator for the pediatric complex care program.
Yeah, that's like it's like a sentence.
So long. So basically, I work with our pediatrics group. We have a group within pediatrics that specializes in complex care. So it's like only certain providers. They operate at different clinic locations sometimes than general pediatrics. And they specialize in taking care of babies born either under 30 weeks or any children with complex needs. So obviously, ton of NICU kids auto qualify. And my job is to identify patients that qualify while they're in the hospital, explain the program to their families, get them, see if they do want to follow with us, or if a lot of times they'll be like, no, I have a pediatrician, but that pediatrician is not comfortable managing a trach and a G-tube. So kind of like selling it to them, not in like a salesy way, but in like genuinely like, this is what's going to be best for your child.
I didn't know they had a choice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I've had parents, especially, this always makes me sad, is like we get a lot of families with language barriers and they'll say no because they want to go to whoever they've found that speaks their language. And then that person's not comfortable and then they have to come to us. So I think we do a really, really great job of like having translators in place and everything. But a lot of times they're like resistant to it for that reason. And that makes me sad. I think any kid that qualifies should come to us just because normal pediatricians office visits are like 20 minutes and you're seeing the doctor for like maybe 2 of those, like not knocking them. It's just like the flow of a general pediatrician.
It's just kind of like how things are,
Yeah. So our appointments are all 40 minutes and you are, we also have this kind of case management piece. They're called our outpatient coordinators, and they will help with all the like formula ordering, DME, any home health nursing stuff. So like where case management obviously ends when they leave the hospital, our coordinators come in, and that's just a piece you're not going to get at a general pediatrician. Even if they're comfortable managing your care, you don't have someone like specialized in knowing like, I can call this company and make sure your home oxygen's there at this time, So I basically identify the patients, enroll them in the program, and then I collaborate with the case management, social work, medical team to coordinate their transition home. Shout out to case management. They do so much stuff that I just can't. I don't order DME. Like I don't do all of these things. And like they do so much for these patients. Like it's honestly incredible. But it's a really unique role because I get to be like an extra support for the families. That is not someone who is on the medical team or doing their case management. So a lot of times I'll get calls from parents because they're like, the doctor rounded this morning and he said XYZ and like I forgot to ask whatever. And I can like pull up their chart and like explain it from a nursing perspective. And if they need to talk to the doctor still, like I can reach out to that doctor and see if someone can call them back. So it's really, really unique. What has been really new in this role for me is the PD PICU world. So 93% of our patients come from NICU. Like most of them do, but we do get some referrals from PD PICU. It makes me so sad. Yeah. Like there's something my head can rationalize about NICU. Like they're born too early, like whatever. PD PICU is like,
yeah, it's horrible.
It's too sad. But when patients who have been following with our program are readmitted to the hospital, I go see them and their families and doing kind of the exact same thing that I would do for a normal discharge, like making sure that they are like informed, they have everything they need. And those situations, especially when you're talking about a really complex kid, like readmitted to PICU, you get to be a support for the family that I don't think would be in place otherwise. Like we have amazing resources like Child Life, Chaplain, all this stuff, but I can see the value in having someone there that knows your pediatrician who you know way better than all the doctors at the hospital. Like, especially you're talking an 8-9-year-old that's been with them forever. And so to be able to be this like extra piece of peace, like honestly for them is like super, super rewarding and just like something I didn't expect in this role.
It's beautiful. One of a kind. There's only one of you for all of NICU, PD, and
PICU, yeah.
You're the only one? Mm-hmm. That's a lot of responsibility.
It's a lot. We're growing a lot. It's amazing. But that has been a lot, like recruitment wise. And PD operates so different from NICU. So I'm so used to how NICU rolls. I feel like it's kind of easy for me to understand the discharge process, et cetera. Like you're in PD, you could get a G-tube on a Tuesday and be discharged like the next night. Like it's like very fast.
I feel like their discharges are like, see you later.
Yeah, no, seriously. So like one of the things I do with, I'm tracking these patients from the second they're born or put on my radar till right before they go home. And I'm kind of timing when I'm talking to the families so that I can have one of our providers come in and do a consult where they're at the hospital. And I tell parents, like, it's just a quick head to toe to make sure everything they read in your chart is what they see in person. And then we collaborate with your team, like, if we catch anything, which, like, things happen, we'll be like, could you consult so-and-so? Like, and so we collaborate with the medical team. And when I'm in PD PICU, it's like, okay, this patient like should be on your radar. They're getting a G-tube tomorrow and they're going home. And like, I can't get a provider to come in and consult on that short notice. We do it like one day a week. So now they're going home to like no consult. So our team doesn't know who's walking through the door. It just feels like unorganized. And I'm like very type A with work and that like sends me over the edge. So the goal is to have another one of me that would kind of cover PD, PICU, maybe ED, and then we could cross cover each other. Because right now going out of town is like,
impossible.
No, I'm like, how can I tie everything up so that when I come back, it's not as chaotic as I feel like it's going to be.
So because you're the only one, and how long have you been in the role?
Since last March, so almost a year now.
Okay, so a year is still pretty new.
Yeah.
Who do you go to when you have questions since like you're literally the only one?
Depends on what the question is. I leaned on case management so much in the beginning because I like talking about these other specialists and stuff, like I just didn't know them. So they were like so helpful for me figuring out things in the beginning. I have an incredible team at the clinic. So we have 5 providers and 2 coordinators. I call them like the outpatient version of me. And they are employees. I'm the only employee, but we are like a team. So I lean on them so much. Like that is especially the nurse practitioner that I get to work with. I love her. She was a NICU nurse and then she became an NP and is now like the only full-time person at the clinic. Like she does all our consults. Like she's amazing. I would be drowning without her. Like she is like who every week when I'm reviewing patients, like we have a weekly call, we go over the patients together, make sure we're aligned with who we want to consult. We go and do consults together. Then it's like, who do we need to message to put the pieces together? Like she is just like, she's amazing. She's always there to answer my questions, no matter how stupid. And then like the outpatient coordinators, they came on a little bit after me. So they had other ones who were there when I was first hired. And I didn't get a ton of time with them. But the ones who are on now, I feel like came in when it was a little bit chaotic. So we've all kind of gone through this, like figuring it out in like a train wreck, like time kind of thing, like figuring out how to do this job, who to call, like where we all we can do is like laugh sometimes. So
you're like, wait, I've never had this problem before.
Yeah.
Take a step back.
I think having them is phenomenal. It's the harder part is not having people on the hospital side who I can be like, hey, I'm going out of town. Can you cover this and that? Because I know the outpatient side is doing their own thing and they will help and they will cover me and they'll do amazing, but I know it's extra on top of what they're doing.
Based off that, would you say that patient navigator and case management are all on the same level or is one higher than the other?
I think it's just like completely different scopes and everything. So like even down to where we're located, my office is like in that really far building. They are right on the unit. They're ready to be patient facing all the time. I am patient facing a lot, but I'm considered non-clinical and do a lot of work on program growth and development. So I think it's just completely different, like areas almost. We work very, very closely together, but the role itself is just in two different places.
But parallel.
Yeah, pretty parallel. Equal, yes. We work together a lot. Scope is entirely different.
So going back to your business skills, how do you blend your like clinical knowledge and your business skills together?
This role has been just like a complete blend of the two. So, when I was bedside, unless I was doing like some sort of committee for clinical ladder, like I'm not doing data tracking and reporting and like all those things. So now I'm like doing a ton of data tracking, which is something I had done previously, things like marketing you're not doing when you're just like all these, we're building a program, which I feel like is kind of like building a business, like healthcare is a business, like it just is. So being able to take all the experience I had from like retail management and bring it in like unique ways here has been very cool. And I wouldn't be able to do it in this role without the clinical experience that I had. Like I wouldn't know to track gestational age and certain outcomes. Like I know how to data track from my business life, but like I didn't know what was important without that clinical piece. So I think that it's like really cool to me to blend both because like I said, it's just the perfect blend of both things I enjoy. So it really like fills my cup in that sense, but it's a major, major, major blend of both.
It sounds like the perfect role for you.
It feels that way. I feel really, really grateful. Yeah.
That's awesome. Have you experienced any memorable stories or anything as a patient navigator?
Just last week, I got to see 2 babies that I took care of and primaried in the NICU for their like 2.5-year well child check.
That's so sweet.
So it was just the coolest thing. And like, I literally could have started crying. So one of them, is, very complex. And his nurse said, "Oh, do you want to hold him?" And I was like, "Of course I do." And he like snuggled into me and was like looking up at me and smiling and snuggling. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and the nurse kept going, you don't understand. Like, he doesn't like people. Like, he must remember you. Like, he gets really weird about like strangers and new people. Like, he really must remember you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It was like, I was like, I'm going to start crying because he just kept like just nuzzling in and like looking back and smiling. So it made me feel like he really remembered me, and knowing that I like had that impact, I snuggled that baby so much on the night shift. So that was like that was super cool for sure.
Okay, so looking ahead, what kind of nursing do you plan to focus on?
I really want to stay in the pediatric world. So I just went back to school for my MBA in January, which is so much work.
Oh my God.
So hard.
Were you prepared? Or do you feel like you're like,
No.
wait, what did I do?
I'm like, what did I get myself into? Like, I know I know I'm going to do it and get through it, but I've gone to school, I've got my business degree, then I went for my associates in nursing, and then I went back for my BSN. So I like have gone back twice since I originally graduated. I thought like, I know what I'm doing. Like I set aside 1 or 2 days a week. I grind. I like get the exams done, whatever. I have to do stuff every single day. Okay. Like every night after work, on the weekends, like no social life anymore. Or like if you do, you have to budget it to one day and like hope something doesn't come up. And even then I don't feel caught up. Like it's just so much work. But I know it'll be so worth it because I really do want to be like, this sounds crazy, but like a COO, CEO of like a children's hospital.
I could see it.
Thank you. It's so far off. I don't expect that to be like my next step, but I'm like, if I can just say it out loud, manifest it. Like
Oh, absolutely. Write it down. Write it down.
Yes. So I would really, healthcare is a business at the end of the day. It is. And I don't think that healthcare will ever be perfect. Like, but I do think that I could be someone who helps get it to like make a great pediatric hospital and get it somewhere that's not perfect, because I'm never going to promise anyone that, but like what's the best we can do for these patients and families. And like, I want to be a part of that.
That's amazing.
Thank you. I actually did a leadership class like through the hospital, and we had to give a presentation at the end, and they were like, oh, sometimes the CEO comes, sometimes he doesn't. They made it sound like he probably wasn't going to come. So I have my like speech ready. He was there. And like in my speech, I said I wanted to be the CEO. And so I literally looked at him and like laughed when it happened. But I got to have a great conversation with him after. And he talked to me a lot about the value of having nurses and people with clinical experience like in these roles and like wanting to be on the administrative side, because it's so rare. And if you get people in those positions who have no concept of like the nurse experience, the patient experience, all of that, like that can be tough.
That's where, we have these horrible patient ratios, and we don't have what we need is when people who do not have the clinical background step into those roles. You're like, that's where you have the problems.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
Hearing that he valued that was amazing. And he, I was telling him about how I wanted to do some mentorship, and he was like, I want to hook you up with our COO, because she was a nurse and now she's a COO. And that's been an incredible relationship. And it just makes me feel like at least the organization we're a part of like does have like a focus on making sure that nurses and that clinical side is like heard in the administrative side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as someone who doesn't know a lot about an MBA, because I've never even thought about a business degree in any way, what would be the difference between that and like maybe going the master's in healthcare administration role? Like where do you think that difference is?
I think that the MHAs are amazing as well. I think that they are obviously healthcare focused. And for me, I wanted to do a degree that if I did want to leave healthcare down the line would translate to that and not have to explain like, well, and I don't know if I would be in this situation, but not having to explain like it was in healthcare, but it's like similar to XYZ, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like the MBA like really covers it all. Also, we had a new VP hired within the past year, and she did her MSN and MBA, like a bridge thing or combination program. So talking to her about how valuable that MBA has been in her career, I think was also like made me feel reassured that it was the right thing. Because I was like, should I just be doing the MHA,
Yeah. 'Cause as someone who's never really looked into administration, you feel like health administration.
Healthcare administration. Yeah, no, it makes sense. And it's a great degree. And like like a ton of people in administration have the MHA. For me personally, like I said, if I want to leave healthcare, at least I have that option. But yeah, like I said, healthcare is a business.
It absolutely is.
It's definitely a business. So I knew it would relate.
Future CEO.
I would love that. I would love that. But long-term goal, I'm very aware that it's not anytime soon.
How long does it take to complete your MBA? Are you doing full-time, part-time?
I am doing a 2-year program, so it's like 2 classes every 8 weeks.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
God.
lot. And it's at the University of Florida. So they don't play. I'll tell you that. Like, they do not play. It's a very rigorous program. But yeah, 2 years.
Oh my God. You're like, okay, I'm 2 months in.
Yeah, I'm like, it's fine. I just had my first exam this past weekend and I was like almost in tears by the end of it. It's just overwhelming. But I know I can do it. Like, if I can do what I told you about, like working the full-time job, being a tech, doing nursing clinicals, I'm like, I can do anything.
Oh, absolutely. It's just like maybe a different level of hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm gonna cry and complain.
Oh, yeah. Like, if I were doing that, I would complain the entire time. And that's the only way I would feel good about it.
No, I'm gonna
I
complain.
would wake up and be like, ugh.
Yeah, like a lot of times my boyfriend will be like, "You got this, this and that," and I'm like, "Thank you. I'm gonna keep complaining."
Oh, 100%.
I know I got it, but you just kind of need to get it out of your system. So
yeah.
I'll complain and cry the whole time, but I will do it.
Yeah. Do you get summer breaks or any of that, or is it just like every 8 weeks?
So it's every 8 weeks, but it's kind of funky at the end of the year. So we get like mid-October to January off so that we could do a broad learning experience, or they offer stuff in the US too. But it's only like 1 week out of that time. So either way, you get like a nice little holiday break, which I think is amazing. I've never had that kind of chunk of time off of school. But I'm hoping next year to go to South Korea with them, like as my experiential learning. So
That'd be amazing.
I think that'd be cool. I'm so grateful that I did go to this program because they have so many optional things you can do. Like next month, I'm going to Chicago to meet with like a financial company on how AI is advancing in business and stuff. And also hot topic right now is like how we're using AI at work. So it's like things you think wouldn't relate, like will directly relate. And I'm like excited to take those things back to my job.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Didn't they just put kind of like an AI centered like patient room in the cafeteria?
Oh, I haven't like looked into it yet.
Me
but
either.
yeah.
I'm like, that looks scary.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I like AI for like data analytics and like projections.
yeah.
That's
Not
what
like
want.
actual patient care. That
don't-
sounds really,
I don't need a
no.
robot touching me.
No, thank you.
No.
Unless it's like for surgery. I feel like robots and
Oh, yeah.
surgery, robotics.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
That's just completely above my head also.
Oh, I
like
know,
the
like-
laparoscopic robotics can't.
I know.
Kudos to everyone doing that.
And I'm like, I've considered getting LASIK, and I'm like, but it's like a robot. And I was like, oh.
It's not bad.
Did you get it done?
Yeah, I did. Okay. I think it hurt really bad. People say it doesn't, but I just like my experience. Like, I remember like they had given me whatever the sedative was, and I was like, I don't think it's working. I don't think it's working. And they were like, no, like
It's working.
it's working. And I'm like, they're like, you're just anxious. Like, so they did it. Like, I was just like so aware. And afterwards, I was so aware. Like everyone else I've talked to has like fallen asleep after.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like they're
No.
like sedated and a little bit.
No,
afterwards.
my parents like knew the eye doctor from like my childhood, so they called him. They were like, "She is screaming, crying." Like, "Okay, we give her like." I had a horrible like after LASIK experience, but
Okay, you're not selling me.
I
on
know.
it.
I'm sorry. I will say, being able to wake up and see though, worth it. I would do it 10 times over for that.
Yeah.
But
Were your
like,
eyes really bad?
I think they were, but when I hear other people's scripts, like I don't think
What was your script before
like
you got it?
-375 or something.
Mine's like -275.
Okay, yeah.
I'm almost there.
I just remember like being a young kid like at a sleepover and waking up and there was like something on the ceiling and I was like, what's on the ceiling? Like I can't see. And everyone else looked up and it was like a gigantic spider and they started screaming and I'm like blind. Like, what is this? So that for me is just the best example of like waking up and not being able to see sucks. Like,
Yeah.
waking up being able to like see your surroundings, amazing.
100%.
Worth it.
So like this is a totally off topic, but like I always think about like, okay, if the world was ending
Yeah.
and like what if I run out of contacts?
Yeah.
What if I break my glasses? I literally
You're done for.
I would
No, the zombies are getting you.
Natural selection. Here I go.
Like it's over.
100%.
Oh yeah, it's really worth it. Even what I'm telling you I went through, it was worth it. And every single other person I know that's gotten it has not had that experience.
You mentioned investing in staff as a key to patient care. What does that look like?
I think that your staff's happiness is the like number one factor that relates to patient care outcomes, like patient satisfaction, all of those things. Obviously pay is nice.
Oh, yeah.
Pay is lovely. But resources for staff, like making sure they feel heard, like is key. And again, also something I don't think anyone's going to perfect, like just too many personalities, everything. But I think that starting with your people is like truly how you're going to see the best outcomes at any level in healthcare. And for me, what makes me so interested to go into like the higher positions is like being a part of that for every level. Like, I mean, like, you know, where are we recruiting our EVS from? And I say that because I had a friend who worked in the recruitment area and like staffed our EVS before. So I can be like, I didn't even know that until I had talked to him. So it's like, where are we getting the staff from for EVS? Where are we getting the staff from for our cafeteria? Like, how are we treating them? Like, how is their development? Like, does someone in the cafeteria like want to manage the cafeteria? Like, do we have personal development pieces in place that can make them feel like they can be a part of something bigger? So investing in your people, obviously money wise, everyone wants, but also like from all these other angles and being able to really know where they're coming from. Because I think a lot of people at the higher up levels, like don't take the time to hear the grievances of people at different levels of the business. I do think that's where our CEO has done a phenomenal job. Like he shadows with a different unit, department, whatever, all the time. Like I said, no one is perfect, but I think he does a really good job for his people. And so that's like what I think builds a successful healthcare system. And that's what I would want to be a part of.
Yeah, that's awesome. What advice would you give other nurses who are interested in getting into administration?
I would say get with someone that is in administration, like in any area, just to pick their brain about what they do and what roles are out there, because you really don't know what to look for. I wouldn't have really thought like patient service line navigator was going to be this role that it is, where I get to like work with a specific program and help grow a program and develop all these things. So talk to someone who's in the area you want to be in, and also kind of sit back and think like, what do you enjoy doing? Like for me, I knew I enjoyed the business management. I knew I enjoyed weird admin stuff, data analytics, all this. I also knew I really enjoyed being a bedside NICU nurse. And when this role came up, I never thought until I was interviewing for it, like that there was a role that would be such a perfect blend. Like it was like you get to work with this patient population, you get to use your clinical mind, but you also get to use your business brain and like start to help us grow something bigger with a children's hospital that is growing. So know what you want to do and just look for different opportunities and find one that meshes exactly what you want to do.
For someone who might feel like limited, like maybe they're on a smaller unit, or they work nights so they don't see management and all of the administrative roles, do you think that being a charge nurse might be a first good bridge to that, or do you think that they're kind of separate?
I think it so depends on your unit and your management. Like I don't feel like there's a blanket answer for all units. I think in a huge unit where there's like the NICU, where there's all these committees and you have multiple managers.
4 managers. Yeah.
You know, being a charge nurse puts you in charge nurse meetings with your clinicians and this and that. And it's really about like, how ambitious do I want to be? Do I just want to be a charge nurse every few shifts and that's it? Or do you want to be a charge nurse and grow into a clinician and grow into an assistant nurse manager, like what those things are? I think it can be a really good stepping stone to get to a higher position in that sense. That being said, something I did learn talking to my new mentor was the difference between wanting to be an administrative just on the nursing side and on the business side. So she had told me, you know, if you want to go nursing route, like I would love to hook you up with our CNO, but it is very much two different worlds. Like there's a CNO, there's a COO, like it is nursing versus business, and they work together. But if you're trying to, say your goal was to grow CNO, like I would be like, do the charge nurse, become an assistant nurse manager, become a nurse manager, like go up from there. If you are more interested in the business side, like I'm such a nerd. I'm like, I want to know where our budget's going.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who you're paying what and why. Like, but like, I want to know all those weird things and be in like that side of it. Like, where's our money going? How are we investing for the future? What do we want to open like hospital wise in 10 years, 20 years, whatever. Those are two different worlds. And you can be in the nursing side and do some incredible things. But if you want to go the business side, then I would look more intentionally for like, you could totally do charge and it'll totally help you get there. But I would also be super open with your manager about what your goals are, because hopefully you have a supportive one that can be like, okay, then I'll keep my ears open for this. Or you can bring a role to and say like, I found this online. What do you know about it? Like I feel like I could do that with our manager now.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
In the NICU. Like I feel like I could go to her with anything and she would just be like supportive about it, whether that was staying in nursing or not. Like I'm obsessed with her. I think she's the best.
She is the best.
But yeah, you can be charged and just sit back and do bedside if you want, and that be it. But it also can totally be a stepping stone to more things.
Okay. So if you could go back in time and give your baby nurse self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Don't be so hard on yourself. I was really, really hard on myself, and it made me operate out of anxiety a lot for the first year, like thinking I'm going to make a mistake, etc. And I'm grateful I got over that. And there were people who made me feel like I can ask these questions and everything, but don't be so hard on yourself. And also know that like you're going to get different attitudes.
Yeah.
In healthcare. Don't take it personally. Because a doctor corrected you does not mean that you're dumb and you don't know what you're doing. I internalized the heck out of like
interactions. Yeah.
Like and now I know it's just their personality and that's just how they operate. But when you're a brand new nurse, you're so hard on yourself to be perfect. And even if you're not boohoo crying about something, like I know I was internally like, I'm so stupid. I didn't know to do XYZ. So let that go. Because once you do, you're going to thrive.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then to close, if someone were to come to you and say, I'm really thinking about becoming a nurse, what would you say?
Do you really want to be one? No, if you're thinking about becoming a nurse, like do it. If you're thinking like do it. I would say definitely go shadow. Make sure you know what you're getting into. Like, do you know what kind of nurse you want to be, what field, etc. But just do it. And know that if you end up on a unit or somewhere that you don't like, the possibilities for other things with your license are endless. Like, so you can get into it, you can change your mind, and you will still have opportunities. No one can ever take that license away from you.
And it can lead you to being the CEO. Hopefully. We're manifesting right now.
Yes. We'll talk in 20 years.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming. I had a great time.
Thanks for having me. This was amazing.
Yeah, of course. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. But before you go, please don't forget to like and
subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.